Okay, it is 5 o'clock p.m. on Tuesday, July 22nd, 2025. We'll call the Board of Works and Safety meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Weigel.
Here.
Smith. Here. Daniel.
Here. In front of you are the minutes from our last meeting on July 8th. Were there any changes or corrections?
That I saw.
I didn't have any on this one, did I? I think mine was only on the council.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Next up is a request from Northeastern REMC, and that's for sewer usage, all that
Sewer
kind of good
water
stuff,
usage.
sewer water usage. Do you want to come up and chat about it?
Sure.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but
Yes.
I figured you may want to give context to what we're looking at right here. Obviously, the email is helpful, but I didn't know if there was more information you wanted to provide or not. And name and address, please.
Keith Severs, Northeastern REMC. Our address there is 4901 East Park 30 Drive, Columbia City. So roughly a month ago, we have some geothermal issues. We have some heat exchangers that are buried in a pit across the street from our building. And we had some CO alarms going off, so we could not safely enter the pit, which delayed repair for weeks. Once we were finally able to get in the pit, the crews went in and they tried flushing our system to break down the blockage in our heat exchangers, and it did not work. So they tried a stronger chemical, and that did not work either. So that being said, now we're to the point where we have to get in the pit and completely dismantle the equipment that's in there and basically rebuild it. Once we do so, get the repairs made, get off of the city water, and then we will look at Plan B so we don't have to deal with this issue moving forward. But in the meantime, we're pumping a lot of water through our building. I don't know if Leslie has the amounts there, but it's thousands of gallons. And I guess I'm here to see if there was any way that we could get off of the sewer part of that. No, we're willing to pay for the water that we're using. That's not in question. But we are pumping and dumping. We're dumping it into a storm drain. But the water is used to keep our geothermal cool. Without that, we have no AC, and we have people there 24 hours a day.
Yeah. The storm drain that goes into one of the like pond, retention ponds out there that they have or whatever? Okay.
Yep.
So none of it's going down the sewer?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I guess my first question is have they gotten any kind of a adjustment so far from the utility office? Yes, they've gotten
We've
one.
done one adjustment.
Yeah, we
approved
filled out
in your
one.
folder.
That's that one?
30
Okay.
gallons, yep.
Okay.
Just-
30,000 gallons?
Yeah.
Okay.
And just an FYI, they said the average per day usage on the sewer side, they said it's about $35 a day prior to all of this.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's thousands of dollars at this point.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
I was gonna say in your, in our packet, it shows that your, looks like your July bill for sewer alone was $15,000, almost 15.8,
Yeah.
15,800 bucks. So, and your previous balance was $1,000. So I think that kind of shows where
little bit of
maybe things
usage
are a
there.
little bit. So, remind me, how long did you say you think it's going to take to get back to where you need to be?
Well, I was unsure when I sent the letter.
Okay.
I just received a quote on Friday.
Okay.
And they're, just for the parts, we're looking at 8 to 13 weeks.
Okay.
And then, of course, we'll have to schedule to get it repaired.
Okay.
So roughly 2 months at this point. Now, I did talk to Shamball. And they're willing to come out and take a look at it also and see if they can't get things done a little bit quicker.
Okay.
The company we're working with is their sister company, Havel.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
there's some coordination there. So,
Gotcha.
I mean, we're not stuck at that 13 weeks.
Yeah.
I think there might be some forgive, but it's worst case scenario is what
Yeah.
we're looking at.
I gotcha. So your request then would be that that we would approve sewer adjustments for the July month at the very least, and obviously for a couple of months as you are continuing to work on that. Is
Yeah.
that fair? Okay. And I don't know how much we've done from a proactive standpoint, but I think it probably would be valuable if we decided to grant the sewer adjustment, that maybe it's something where every month when they get the new bill, that you bring it back to us, we do the comparison and then make the decision. So I
And I
don't know
can
if that's
certainly be,
acceptable to you.
yeah, and I
It's
can
like,
certainly let you know, once we
Yeah.
make the repairs and we're off of that, I'll certainly call and let you know. But this is where we're at.
Yeah, I got you.
currently.
And I appreciate that. I think honestly, and unless these two disagree, which I'm fine if you do, but I don't know that I need you here every month at the board works meeting to
Sure.
give us an update. I think an email or something would be helpful for us
Okay.
to know that. I don't know what you guys are thinking. So,
Yeah.
So I understand, I
Yep.
guess, so most of that's going into a retention pond, we're not treating it.
Right. On the sewer side, yes, yes. And that's what he's asking is for the sewer to be readjusted to where their typical bill is, so that they're not paying for, because we, of course, we meter the water, and so we did base the sewer bill off of the water. Yeah, water use.
And we'll continue to pay for the water use.
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah.
It's the sewer portion that.
Yep. Yep. So, thoughts from the board?
So are you suggesting that we adjust it, go back to what the normal usage is, or whatever we put?
Well, yeah, my-
What percentage?
I would say, my suggestion is that we adjust the July sewer bill for them back to their normal usage for July, and that when the August sewer bill, or the August utility bill comes up, that he sends a email to say, here's an update of our timeline and what we're doing. Leslie brings the bill in front of us, we determine whether or not we want to make another adjustment or not at that point, and then until the problem is fixed, then we do that.
So it's almost like common person that, waters their yards, is already set.
Yes, yep. They have the summer water, or summer sewage rate where we lock in their sewage, where they are, what, April? The April's readings, I think, we lock their sewer in from what April is, and they have that all the way through
September.
September. So,
But we're losing how much, cost to
well,
us.
we shouldn't be losing anything, because ultimately they're not using the sewage that we're billing them for. But they are paying for the water usage. So we're actually, effectively, we're overbilling them because we base it off of the water usage, but they're not actually, that is not going into the sewer, it's going into the retention pond. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah, the sewage is, or the stormwater, wastewater is going into the retention pond because it's not wastewater, it's cooling.
It's cooling,
Cooling
yep.
water is what it is, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Basically just flows through the pipe, doesn't get treated, doesn't get anything dumped into it, just
Nothing in
flows through the pipe and
It's
goes.
just
into
running
the
through and
retention.
then dumping.
Yep, yep, so. That answer your questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it's a little more clear, I'm a little slow, I guess.
Lisa, no, you're good. Lisa, you good?
I'm good.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the sewage adjustment for the July bill for Northeastern REMC, and adjust that bill back to the normal usage. Yes, that's fine.
I'll second.
Motion and seconded, further discussion. All those in favor for the usual sign, it is unanimous.
Thank you.
So what I would ask, like I said, is for the next couple of months, or until you get it fixed, if you can just keep sending information to Leslie ahead of time, and then once those bills come in, then you can bring those back in front of the board. I don't think you need to be here unless for some reason we see something weird and say, hey, it'd be nice to see you again. But I think you've given, again, unless you guys say anything different, I think you've given us enough information that we know kind of what's going on. As long as we're kept up to date, I don't foresee a problem.
Okay.
Okay?
And then
Thank you all, I
I'll
appreciate
just
it.
let you know then once Board of Works
Yes.
reviews each bills.
Okay,
So do you send them a new bill then after the adjustment?
Well, yes.
Okay.
Natalie will just.
There you go.
okay. And I'll be in touch with you
Okay.
as this progresses.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey, if this ever happens again, hopefully it won't after you fix it, but please give us a call because when we lose that much water, we don't know if we have a leak somewhere or what's going on, and our pumps have been run. Not only you, but the splash pad and what Mike's been doing out at the, we've been using a lot of water the last 30 days, and it's kind of shocking when we're wondering, do we have a leak somewhere or is it just consumption? So if you could just give us.
So I
a
did call the very next day, so we hooked this up at 1 AM.
Okay.
And then the very next day I called.
You know how that is, you know.
Yeah, but we did call.
I'm sure you did. It just didn't get back to us that there was high usage out there
Okay.
and that, which would be very helpful to us.
Thank
Cool.
you. Okay.
Great.
Thank you all, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
See
you.
you guys.
Okay. Next up is the AMPP construction bid approval for reconductoring. Sean sent an email earlier because he was not able to be here, but for the public record, let me see if I can pull that up real quickly. Oh, there we go. Leslie coming in the clutch. So Sean says we were alerted by REMC, ironically, a couple of weeks ago about work that was being done on the shared pole line on State Road 9 between 500 North and Bear Road, where we're renting pole space from them. Those poles all fell over last spring, causing a prolonged outage for both REMC and our customers. REMC was able to put the poles back up temporarily, but have now hired AMPP Construction to replace them permanently. Our lines are underbuilt on their poles through that area, so we're looking to use the same contract to do the work for our lines while they are doing the REMC work. But it's obviously fairly urgent because they're moving forward. So Sean has submitted a quote of $65,830.03. That's right. Yes. To Leslie, obviously, for this agenda, as you can see. But basically, his hope was that, understand that obviously he's done his research, it's a fair price. He did say that they received a quote to replace 2 poles last spring from another contractor that was over $200,000. So this seems like a pretty reasonable and rational price.
Well, I think it's because we're working
With REMC, yeah, they're on site already. They don't have to do mobilization, demobilization, all that kind of stuff, so. So, any questions, comments, concerns? I'll make a motion that we approve the project scope with AMPP Construction for $65,830.03 as presented.
I'll second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor show with the usual sign. It is unanimous. Thank you. Payment approvals. So first up is Baker Tilly. This is for the comprehensive rate study over all 4 utilities. As you know, there's a there was a study, 3 or 4 years ago, I think, and now we're doing a new study to just look at if we're meeting those expectations and what the revenue requirements are going to be looking into the future. So that amount is $8,105.10. Any questions about that? I'll make a motion we approve invoice number BT 3250048 in the amount of $8,105.10 as presented.
Second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Next up is for the Community Crossings Matching Grant Program. This is for paving. Kelly, you're good with this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Z has reviewed it too.
Okay. And that's the 570 number?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions for Kelly? Okay. I'll make a motion, we approve pay request number 1 for the Community Crossings Matching Grant Project in the amount of $570,662.15 as presented.
I'll second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. On that note, Kelly, do you want to maybe just talk about where we're at with community crossings, since we're on that project right now?
Yeah, all the streets are paved. They pulled out of town last Friday. They finished up at Eagle Glen. They are coming in, I think, tomorrow to do restoration work around the ADA ramps. We have 31 ADA ramps throughout the community that had to be brought up to compliance. And now is the restoration work for that. They had pavings all done. So, yeah, they did a good job with it, I think.
Questions? Okay. Next up is the contractor's application for payment from Pulver Asphalt Paving for the Blue River Trail South project. This is for our Next Level Trails grant. And so you can see the amount due this application is $86,724.12. Any questions about this? Obviously, Chip's already approved. I will tell you from the kind of broader process here, we're still working on the railroad crossing, meaning we're still trying to find resolution to that. We thought we had an answer. That answer came out at $500,000. We said that's not possible. And so we're now working through some different alternative versions with the engineer. We also have obviously the Main Street portion we're still working on. They have to create the pedestrian island in the middle of there for, safe crossing. Apparently they're going to be able to do it, they say, and NDOT says they're going to be able to do it with both lanes of traffic still going side by side. I have no clue how they're going to do that. That's not my job to figure that out. But long story short is there's still obviously there's still a lot of work being done around Main Street right now. So, and again, miscellaneous little things along the way, but generally speaking, that's where their focus is at the moment. So, any questions?
I can understand how frustrating it is to work with the railroad.
Yes, I'm sure you can. Yes, yeah. Okay, I'll make a motion. We approve engineers project number 5251 for Pulver Asphalt Paving in the amount of $86,724.12 as presented.
I'll second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion. All those in favor show with the usual sign. It is unanimous. Thank you. The next thing up on our agenda is discussing meeting dates. So November 11th is obviously a city holiday because it is Veterans Day. And that is when our first meeting in November is scheduled for. And then December 23rd, obviously the day before Christmas Eve. And the issue with that is that, typically we move that last meeting in December to later so that all the transfers and everything can happen on the council side. But I wanted to kind of get your sense, just looking out to the rest of the year, wanted to get your sense of whether or not you wanted to move the 11th date. That would be my preference, but we don't have to. And then the 23rd date, if we want to kind of base it off of what the council can do or not. So that's my two issues.
What is your suggestion for the Board of Works?
So,
Or the day after?
frankly, I can do either. I don't necessarily mind either way. I don't know if you have a preference either way, Leslie. If you want to go Monday or Wednesday, Marcia, I don't know if you have preferences, so.
I don't think
So-
doesn't matter.
Okay. Is there a preference you all have of either Monday the 10th or Wednesday the 12th? Okay.
I can too.
Well. Okay, yeah, flip a coin. Is the 12th okay? Is a Wednesday okay? I'm trying to think if we have any conflicts in here on Wednesday. I don't think so. We wouldn't have any conflicts, I don't
Do you
think,
know
on
anything
Monday.
about what council's thinking?
I don't. Do you want to just base it on council? I guess that's a good point, Marcia.
Yeah.
You want to base it on council?
That'd be fine with me.
Okay.
Just in case.
So I will let you know then about the 11th. And do you want to do the same thing? Well, let's go to the 23rd real quick, because My gut tells me that we're probably gonna shoot for the 29th or the 30th of December for council. Would that be fair?
I'd like to have it on the 30th.
On the 30th? Does that still give you, I mean, is that still okay with us being off on the 31st?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
So you're gonna shoot for the 30th and we'll see what the council wants to do? So is the 29th or 30th, either of those a no-go for you, or are they both a no-go, or
I can do
you can't? Okay, so if you're good with that, we will base it on whatever the council does and we'll just go our normal time before then.
Okay, they won't. Okay, if we just want to make it Wednesday, then we're done with the board work. What does that have to do with council?
It doesn't have anything to do with council, it's more of just the fact that if we're gonna be here and they're gonna be here, I'd like to pattern it on the same day. If we have to. If we don't have to, I mean, or if we,
Well, we'll
It
be
may
on the
not
same day.
well, that's what I'm saying is, but council doesn't know yet. We haven't talked about council yet. We're gonna talk about it next. Right?
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about it at the next meeting, council meeting tonight to figure out those 2 dates. So if the Board of Works is willing to follow them,
Oh, gotcha.
then we'll just do the same as we normally do. Okay,
I don't
okay.
want them to have to, well, they get ugly.
They'll probably find a way to weasel out of it anyways, but.
It seems like that's gonna be during the rut time. And I
The
would
rut?
say, yeah. May
Okay.
not make it.
Okay. Anyways, okay, so we will set that date based on whatever council decides for those 2 dates, and then I'll let you guys know or whatever, so. Cool, okay. Lisa's favorite moment of the day,
bills.
we'll go to bills.
All right, I'll make a motion to pay all accounts payable in the amount of $125,696.80 from the allowance of accounts payable vouchers dated July 22nd, 2025 for checks.
Second.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor should be the usual sign. It is unanimous.
I'll make a motion to pay all accounts payable in the amount of $980,835.24 from the allowance of accounts payable vouchers dated July 22nd, 2025 for EFT payments.
Second.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor should be the usual sign. It is unanimous.
And I'll make a motion to pay all accounts payable except overtime in the amount of $331,969.66, plus overtime in the amount of $12,520.83, for a total of $344,490.49 for the pay file ending 7/11/2025.
Second.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Thank you. Department head reports. Mike?
We repaired 2 storm drains, one there at the Eagle parking lot and also one down there on West Parkway, Columbia Parkway. Also, next week, we're planning on starting on Jeffrey Drive, the water main project there, replacement. And that's about it.
Okay. Questions of Mike? Thank you. Mike?
Yesterday, S&K was here, and they completed that project. They had to put a couple straps on the priming lines for the pumps, so that project is complete. I let the engineer know that they're done, complete, so I'm just waiting for them to produce the last pay app. And obviously, it's not gonna be at this one, so should be the next meeting. That should be on there as soon as I get it. Storage tank, we're done, finished up Friday, running the belt press. There's probably still, we could probably go for another month to turn out another 180, 200,000 gallons. If we wanted to, just by trying to thin it out because of the solids in there, but we've done that for a week and a half, so we got a lot of extra out. Made some capacity on that. All the parts are on order that we need to do the repairs. The tubing is here, the square tubing, and the midsection brackets, the pieces that they need to go halfway down. We're the only thing is the holdup right now. We're waiting on those. We called last week and asked them, we need them yesterday. So they're trying to speed that up and hopefully get that shipped out. It'd be great if we had it this week. But hope we get those and get that wrapped up. And tomorrow I have a on-site meeting with Xylem and Gray Wolf. Those are the two companies. Xylem's the one that's selling the digester cover, and Gray Wolf is the one that will be doing the installation. So I meet with them tomorrow. I believe it's at 1 o'clock. So we'll go over a site visit, and then we'll start that early next month. So.
Okay. Questions of Mike? Thank you. Tom?
Our breathing air compressor continues to be an issue, and when I keep bringing this up because every time we have an issue with that crazy thing, it costs us about $500 to have them come in here and fix it. So when I tell you this, that it's just continually breaking, and it's only 4 years old. Just when it went off warranty, it's nickel and diming us. We're probably in the future gonna have to look at switching out to something different. Our latest candidate, I don't know if I can bring up his name, but was released by Public Safety Medical and has moved on to the pension board. Hopefully that goes well and we can get him on the schedule soon. Zach and Toby have been working with ESO software. The federal government's moving our NIFRS reporting, which has been in place for as long as I've been in the fire service. Moving from NIFRS to a different software, and well, we got forced into switching to this new one. And getting switched over to it is going to be very time consuming and very difficult, so kudos to Toby and Zach for taking that on. Toby's still working with our Sierra wireless stuff on our fire engines, trying to get that up and going. So he's got a lot on his plate when it comes to the techno end of things, and he's doing well. I don't know if I've reported to the board or not. I told the mayor our new fire engine has actually been moved up. There is a possibility we'll get it as early as March of next year. So that's about 6 months earlier than what we thought. So that's good news. Bad news if we don't have it in the budget. So we'll see where that is. And just a little bit more bad news. 107's got a couple issues. The scraper on the waterway to keep before it gets into the seals when you extend and retract the ladder through the waterway for the nozzle at the end. The scraper is going to need to be redone, and there's a wear plate that's going to have to be replaced. Well, that means disassembling the ladder to do that, and we're going to have to send it into a dealer. So I'm in the process of getting some quotes to see what it's going to take to get that fixed. It's not an option. We've got to do it, or well, we're going to need another ladder. So I think spending the money to get it up and going is probably the better way to go. So other than that, things are going well.
Question, Tom? Thank you, Kelly.
I report a little bit on Brooks there. They do need to come in and do some striping yet, like up on Line Street. There's other roads, Diplomat, other things that in the contract, I think they might have air marking coming in to do that work in the contract. I also have Three Rivers Barricade, a quote from them to come in to do the rest of our street striping. And then Van Am Seal and Stripe does our downtown parking stalls and the piano key crosswalks and stuff like that. Ellis was in working on some of that, got rained out one night, so he'll be coming back in to finish that up. Kind of waiting on doing the piano keys at Line Street, Van Buren until that asphalt gets wore down a little bit, the new asphalt there, so it doesn't blacken up the keys after he paints them. So we're kind of waiting a week or so on that. Our concrete guys have been busy. Chip asked me if we could have those guys do in front of Eagle Park along Whitley Street. There was a section, I think Mike maybe took out the concrete or something. It was a pretty long section. They poured that today. It looks really nice.
That was the approach to the band room originally.
Yeah, that's what it was. So Jason led that crew, and shout out to them guys. They've been doing good. We've got a couple 50/50 sidewalk projects that we'll be doing. And then they'll have some concrete work out at the end of Whispering Trail at the cul-de-sac that we're going to be doing some work to in the future. And also also our guys have been, we've had a crew in the alleys trimming back where limbs are hanging out, hitting cars. They're going down and taking all that back. They've been doing a great job. Jim Bogstad put me in that crew, and we're going to transition onto the streets before school starts up. Hopefully get things back from the signs and anything hanging out over the sidewalk in the street. So that's a few things we've been working on.
Questions of Kelly? Thank you. Marcia?
Nothing.
Leslie?
Nothing.
A couple of different reports here from Gary. 4-H Fair Week and Parade went well. He appreciated the guys for doing their walkthroughs and showing an officer presence at the fair. Officer Sturgis is still doing well at the academy, is in his 12th week. We're still accepting applications for the patrol officer position, and the deadline to apply is August 1st at 4 p.m. So if you know of anybody that has an interest in being a police officer, help spread the word. Officer Brannicky is at SRO school, and they're currently working on interviews for the second shift lead position for dispatch. And so they had some movement there. The Wheels of Whitley event will take place in downtown Columbia City. That says Friday, August 2nd, but I think it's Saturday. Anyways, what? We do. I think we've already approved that. Yes, we've already approved that one, yes. So Chip, he had a couple of things to say, but basically what he was just saying was he went down and he did a bunch of weed spraying along the streets. There was some comments on Facebook, positive comments about that. So he did mention that, but he's, obviously been working on the trail and, some of the other stuff, Eagle Park stuff and such, so. And then from Matt in our Parks Department, he said the sign at Eagle Park is close to being up and running. There's some software tweaks that have to happen, but that's really, really close. That's the former high school site, but we've put on bright signs there, so that'll be up and we're going here soon. JFL equipment was passed out. Practices start August 4th for JFL. City Slam is July 26th and 27th. That's the Parks softball fundraiser. Softball's fundraiser. So that's pretty much Parks. Terry says all equipment has been installed at Eagle Park server room. Fiber work has been completed by the electric department at Eagle Park. Cameras are up and should be operational very shortly, potentially early next week, maybe this week, and public Wi-Fi as well. They did, as Matt had mentioned, him and Terry have been working on the Eagle Park sign, and so once the software kind of gets uploaded, then they should be good to go. He's been replacing several UPSs, Universal Power Supply units, at city locations. So that's taken up a fair amount of his time. And then finally from, I think, Sean, they have finished undergrounding new distribution lines, removing all overhead lines in the rear easement on 50 East and Ohio Street. He's working with IMEA, the Indiana Municipal Electric Association, to roll out new the IMEA Lineman Training Institute, and that's going to be held in Rensselaer. And so they're kind of excited about that. There's lots of trainings happening in August and into September. He's going to be going to New York again with the Indiana Municipal Power Agency Executive Committee for their bond rating meeting. So he'll be out for a couple of days in late July. They have, construction on the State Road 9 project. Obviously, we talked about that. Fiber to Eagle Park, we talked about that. Pole replacement continues, and they are preparing for tree trimming this season with a lot of the larger projects on the schedule over the last few years. They're trying to get caught up on tree trimming. Okay? I know that was a lot of information from department heads, but that's kind of what I got up to this point. I will say that we are working on a slight change to policy for the police with Leslie and Gary and Sally and myself. So we're working on some minor policy changes there just for your awareness. Flex time versus comp time and some minor things there. Let's see what else is going, what else is happening. I think, employee appreciation luncheon on Friday, I think went really well. And I've been working on with the America 250 committee, that's a celebration of the Sesquicentennial. Is that right? I think that's the Sesquicentennial celebration. It's the 250th celebration of the United States, obviously. And then the last thing I'll say is next week we are going to be working we're going to have kind of a pre-meeting to my department head meeting to talk about what we really want in the GIS position as we prepare to hire for that position. So, besides that, I will be at ICOM for the second half of next week, the Indiana Conference of Mayors. But as always, happy to answer emails and phone calls and texts. So that's all I'll say. I know that was a lot. Dan.
I have nothing.
Lisa.
I have nothing.
We have no press. We have no audience, so we will call the meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.